Hi, I'm Ellis George, play Courtney Woods, and you're listening to the Five-ish Fangirls podcast.
The tangents this week continue all the way to episode 307 of the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. Are you feeling insecure? You seem like you need a lot of praise. Welcome everyone to this week's episode of the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. So glad you could join us. Let's start off like a New York with virtual table and see who's joined us this week.
This is Brittany Bethlehem.
This is Chrissy and Alex in Salt Lake City.
This is Holly from Wisconsin.
And this is Rachel back in Indianapolis, Indiana. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I hope everyone yelled Jumanji at midnight.
I maybe not have done that. I may have opened up the front door and yelled out into the void, telling 2020 to, hightail it out of here.
Yes.
I was in the middle of watching Wonder Woman beat up the Mandalorian, so well, not really beating up, but anyone who's seen it knows what I was talking about.
Yep.
Yep.
That guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Poor Pedro.
Mm-hmm.
Beat up left and right.
Right.
At
Didn't
least
have
he
Best
keeps his
Scar to
eyeballs.
didn't have Best Scar to help him out that time.
Nope.
Yep.
Oh my. So hopefully everybody had a safe New Year's celebration and nobody overdid it too much. So, but yep, we are now solidly into January and a lot of us back to work, back to school.
Mm-hmm.
Fun times.
Yeah.
So, don't really have anything news-wise other than the book club poll is up.
Yep. Just a second. I'm bringing that up as we speak here. Oh, come on.
Always. The minute you want to
Want to do something?
do it,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't want to cooperate. So,
Okay. Hold on. We're getting somewhere now.
really good reads. You signed me out.
I know.
Exactly. It did to me too. I was like,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
The best one is when they sign you out and they say, what's your password? And you try to type the password in and you forgot what it was. Yes,
Yeah.
Alex.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
no.
Oh, no. Yeah. Oh no, indeed.
If our listeners are wondering why Alex is in here, he just woke up from his nap and I think he might have had a nightmare. So I'm like, you stay here and cuddle with me. So he might add in his opinion.
Okay. Our book for the month is The Wintertime Paradox, which is a collection of winter stories. And then our February book, Time Lord Victorious, All Flesh is Grass. Doctor Who, Time Lord Victorious, The Minds of the Magnacs. That is an Audible side shoot, not Big Finish. Doctor Who, The Resurrection Casket, and Doctor Who, The Wheel of Ice. So there's some 10th Doctor and an old school Doctor Who. So
I've read Resurrection Casket. It is quite good.
Yes,
I
it is.
believe David Tennant reads the audiobook, so you can get your hands on that one.
Yep.
Very
That one might be that might be abridged, but it's still good.
Yeah.
So those are the choices. And I'm still, for those of you wondering, why is I Am the Master not available yet? There is no hardcover release yet for the United States. And if I checked, there is no option from Amazon to get it from UK, from the United States. So the only option is ebook format. So I am waiting till if somebody wants to get the physical copy.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be put on the poll.
Yeah, Amazon UK is very sticky about sending things to the US.
Yes.
I've even run into problems. It's like, forget it. I'll wait.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Oh. Hashtag first world problem.
Oh
Yes.
no!
Yeah.
Exactly.
It is, Alex. It is. It's just first world problems. All right. So that's it for the news.
I know what,
He's just so concerned about everything.
Yes, he is. I'm not even sure what it is.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I better give
The
this.
doctor's in trouble?
Yeah, really. We'll get to that. First, we need to do feedback. So we got some feedback from Shalane. And she says that she talking about the Mandalorian. She says she thinks it's hard for an actor to both star and direct direct something at the same time, which yeah, I've seen like behind the scenes.
Yeah, I believe like
of somebody directing and acting at the same time, even if it's not, even if they're not like the star, but even like Peter Jackson's cameos in The Lord of the Rings. I remember when they were filming the one where he's on the ship after Aragorn has gone and collected the army of the dead, and they take over that ship, and Peter Jackson actually gets shot by an arrow, and there's like footage of him like being with the crowd, pretending to get shot by the arrow, you know, flailing around, falling over, dying, and then popping up and then running over to the camera.
Yeah, and
like,
then
I'm dying, and cut. Let me check that. So yeah,
the hair and makeup costume, and they're like, we can't take you seriously when you're like this.
Yes. So that's yeah, I can't imagine doing both, let alone one of those, right? Let alone both. But there are people that do it, like Peter Jackson, with even if it's short little cameos, and then there are some people where they star and direct all at the same time. So it can be a lot of work, but some people, they really enjoy it. So
I think there's some that may occasionally, like if it's like a TV show, might even write an episode.
Yeah,
part of it. I've seen that too. I'm like,
yeah,
when do you sleep?
Never.
That is a good question.
Yeah.
Sleep? What's that?
Yeah, really.
Movie song, I'll sleep when I'm dead.
That too.
I'll sleep when I'm dead, and someone tuck me in with all of my Emmys and Oscars and various awards.
There'll be a shelf on in my mansion in heaven for me to put them there. Maybe I don't know.
But she says that she thinks Star Wars is a good, because I think we talked about this a little on Talking Mandalorian, that Star Wars is a mix of Western movies, pirate movies, and samurai films. Which, yeah, I think she's right.
Yep.
And she also said she just started watching The Mandalorian this past year because she was too busy with school when the first season of Mandalorian first came out. So better late than never. Welcome to the train. Welcome to the Mandalorian train. And she says that you're talking about Jon Favreau finally getting actually to direct an episode of The Mandalorian, but yeah, he has also made directed a lot of other good things like Elf, which again I've never seen, and of course the Iron Man movies, very much so. She also said that she's glad Ahsoka's getting her own TV show. Me too. She's also plans on watching the Clone Wars and Rebels sometime in the future. And she's also glad that we're getting the Boba Fett spinoff from the Mandalorian. Yeah, and she's familiar with Rosario Dawson, who's playing the live action version of Ahsoka Tano, from movies like she in Men in Black too.
Yes, she is.
I don't remember her in Men in Black too.
She was the she was a lady that may or may not have been Agent K's love child with the alien princess.
Yeah,
It's been a long time since I've seen Men in Black.
The one who worked in the restaurant.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
See, I only know Rosario Dawson mostly from the MCU. Daredevil and Defenders and stuff. So, and she also had the same mindset as me, that when that X-Wing first appeared, she thought maybe it was Ahsoka. And then, surprise, nope. It's a different Jedi. And then she finishes out her feedback with a question, saying, I remember when you guys talked about Bob Iger retiring from Disney. How come you didn't talk about John Lasseter retiring from Disney Animation and Pixar? Yeah, I mean, he did, but Lasseter's leaving was
called a can of worms, and we don't want to open it.
Yeah. It's not like he was like, I'm gonna retire in a year or so, like we've done with Bob Iger, where we knew it was coming and working towards it. Lasseter was more
here's a couple of options for you. Take
yes,
your pick.
yes.
Yeah.
which would hold your reputation the best? What's gonna say face for both of us?
Mm-hmm.
The best.
The easy way or the hard way?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, John Lasseter's retirement is a whole bunch of stuff we're just not going to get into, because a lot of it is he said, she said, they said, and the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. But with these things, since you can't always know the actual truth, why sit around and speculate?
Yeah,
So,
and
because
honestly,
both sides have probably embellished, so
Yeah.
trying to rub off the embellishment, not going to get us anywhere.
Yeah, and and that's kind of not our that's not what we do at this show. We're not we're not the gossip rag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, if you want to go read articles and watch videos or hear other podcasts about people's opinions on all of that, more power to you.
There is a whole genre of YouTube video that's called, it's clickbait basically.
Yeah.
So
people spilling the tea.
Yeah.
So
twisted or otherwise.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. I finally watched that video, and I was just like, all right then.
Yeah.
Now I understand what everyone's talking about.
The memes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna admit I haven't watched that video, so I was really confused. I kept on seeing like twisted tea in every meme. Like, what's going on? And I haven't gone to look for it yet.
It was one of those very cathartic end of 2020 moments. It was just like, you know what, if you I highly doubt it was planned that way, but to end 2020 on such a note, I'm like, that's appropriate.
Yeah.
Did my soul good, let's just say that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's Shalane's feedback. So thank you, Shalane, for the feedback and the questions.
And Shalane, if you want me to explain it more, text me later.
Yeah. There you go. You know we love reading, but sometimes it's hard to find time to physically sit down with a book, which is why the Five-ish Fangirls has proudly partnered with Audible. Audible is a leading provider of spoken word entertainment and audiobooks, ranging from bestsellers to celebrity memoirs. Whatever makes you squee, there's a perfect listen for you. Every month, members get 1 credit to pick any title, plus 2 Audible originals. Whether you're adventuring through time and space, running from dinosaurs, or capturing ghosts, with the free app, audiobooks go where you go. You can download titles and listen offline, anytime, anywhere. Even if you switch devices, you'll never lose your place. And right now, 5ish Fangirls listeners can sign up for a free 30-day trial by going to audibletrial.com/5ishfangirls. That's 30 days to check out not only their huge collection of audiobooks, but also podcasts, guided wellness programs, theatrical performances, A-list comedy, and exclusive Audible originals you won't find anywhere else. So continue the joy of reading with Audible. Don't see a title that trips your trigger one month? No problem. Your credit will roll over to the next month, and you can quit anytime and keep the books you've acquired forever. For more details and to sign up for your free 30-day trial, visit audibletrial.com/5ishfangirls. That's audibletrial.com/5ishfangirls. And now, back to the podcast. So moving on to this week's main topic is as we ring in the new year, and I finally, dragged myself out of bed on New Year's Day after staying up way too late after the ball dropped. It was we were just kind of chilling around the house, hanging out. My mother-in-law spent most of the week hunched over the sewing machine, trying to
see, I like the projects.
Yeah, thanks. Trying to get some things, something accomplished. And at one point on New Year's Day, I kind of looked up at nowhere in particular and I was like, oh yeah, there's new Doctor Who today. I should go watch that. So I did. But it was just one of those things where the day was just getting away from me and I'm like, oh wait, there's new Doctor Who today.
I feel like I'm missing something.
Yeah, kind of.
Something disturbing
to do today.
To paraphrase Mark Hamill, is there anything good on TV tonight?
Yeah, really. Well, in this case, there was.
Yes.
There was something good on the TV on January 1st, thanks to the BBC and Team Doctor Who. So, adding to the R of the Daleks titles.
Yes.
Because we didn't have enough of that already.
Because, it's not like we have resurrection. Yeah, it's not like we have resurrection of the Daleks, Revelation, which is 6th Doctor, and Remembrance.
REs.
Yes.
They're the Re's of the Daleks. Can we?
Yes. Yeah, so you can't even abbreviate it with just the first 2 letters. You got to go with 3.
Yeah.
And
now we've got REV twice, so now you need to go another letter because we got Revelation and Revolution.
Oh, and there are even 2 words that are way too similar.
Yeah.
Right?
Does nobody think of this when they name these episodes?
Okay, the pattern is cute and all, but it's starting to get a little bit.
Well, and the fact that it's a New Year's Day episode, shouldn't it have been Resolution of the Daleks?
That was last year's.
Well, there was one called Resolution. I think it was just called Resolution.
Yeah.
Not of the Daleks.
You're right, it was Resolution.
It should be Resolution of the Daleks, But I guess that would be too
there's
much.
only one Dalek that episode, if I remember right.
Yeah.
That's last year.
So, yeah. Because it's like, are the Daleks really revolting in this one? Not really. If you take the definition of the word revolution,
right?
I don't know if this is really accurate, but
no,
I think they were just wanted to kind of have a nod to the previous R's of the Daleks that we've had with the classic era, I guess. So
I wouldn't mind if they took a break.
plus, we just have to have stories that are something of the Daleks, so there's no surprise that Daleks are in this story.
And it would have been way too much to hope that their New Year's resolutions involved just losing weight, eating better, the usual kind of stuff, getting more sleep.
Yeah.
Leave the doctor alone.
Yeah. Yeah. So essentially this picks up, well, for the fam, it picks up 10 months after the events of the previous last episode, with the doctor following the master to Gallifrey and finding out about the timeless child and all that, and she sent the fam back to Earth to essentially wait for her, but she doesn't go back right away because she gets picked up by the Jadoon and sent to space jail. Where she
interesting
is,
yeah,
which they never said it outright, but from what I've read, as far as fan theories are concerned, a lot of people think this is Shada, where the doctor is being held prisoner, but they've never said that outright. I mean, obviously, it's a good jail because by the time Jack shows up, Jack said it took him 19 years just to get the jail cell next to hers, and how long she was there before that.
And it's really good if
so she's been there at least 19 years.
Right. And it's
in this jail. So it's a good jail when it can hold the doctor for almost 2 decades. At least 2 decades.
And
the Pating and the Weeping Angels, I mean.
Yeah. It's almost like this prison was built specifically just to torture the doctor, because it's like this, the cell with a window, but all she can see is just space. So that's not exciting. It's just the endless space. She's able to mark the walls to keep track of the days, because they are giving her some semblance of time passing with turning the lights off, turning the lights on, feeding her a meal, making her do
exercises.
But her exercise is to go walk laps around the cages of some of the creatures that we've encountered throughout the doctor's adventures, like a weeping angel, Angela, the weeping angel, Bonnie and Clyde the Ood, Pating, the vicious Pating.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy, you can't chew your way through, even though I tried.
Yeah, you can't chew through the cage. Believe me, I've tried.
I can picture the doctor trying to chew.
Yeah.
This is all very "This Is Your Life" torture edition.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's like, whatever this prison is like, was it solely built to hold someone like the doctor in? It's like, why didn't they put River Song in here if she was so dangerous, instead of Storm Cage, where she could break out and in whenever she wanted?
No. River Song would have broken out anyway, because that's just
true.
how she was.
That's true.
And she would have come back and brought the guards donuts.
Probably.
Yeah. Or the coffee of their choice. Here, sorry. He was looking a little tired. Here.
Oh my.
And then the nod to J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
Do you want a bedtime story? Yes.
Yeah, the doctor's talking to herself to try and keep herself sane. It's like, would you like a bedtime story? Like, yes, please. One of the classics. Oh, absolutely. Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of Number 4 Privilege.
Well, because I mean, when she said classics, I'm thinking, okay, which of her past adventures is she going to start telling us about? And then the opening from the Philosopher's / Sorcerer's Stone, like, nice. Okay. Wasn't expecting it, but bonus.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. And I've seen some commentary in the fandom. This was filmed a year ago.
Oh, okay.
So, because some people raise their eyebrows at the Harry Potter reference because since a year ago, J.K. Rowling has said some things and tweeted something and is not necessarily in the best of graces with some of the fandom.
Right.
Again, that's a discussion that we're not going to get into here. So, but this was filmed way before that. And I think if they had edited it, cut it, it may have been a bit weird, like timing wise, jarring wise. So, and because this was filmed so long ago, it's not like they necessarily could have gone and refilmed something else. So, because they've got a schedule to keep.
And then it would have been hard this year anyway.
Yes, that too. Yeah.
Oh, last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Last year, not this year. Last year. That's so nice to be able to say that.
Right?
Oh, and then I love the doctor complaining to Jack about, you committed crimes? Jack? Yeah. And Jack's like, you want to sit here and complain or do you want to get rescued? And it's like,
yeah, it's like, really? You're taking the moral high ground with me? I'm the one breaking you out of jail.
Right. And I'm just thinking, Doctor, roll with it. This is probably the smoothest rescue mission ever in the history of Doctor Who.
Yeah, Jack really does deserve that gold star.
Yes. Because I mean, I'm just getting flashbacks to the two aliens along with Wilf trying to get the doctor out with the shimmer, and the doctor going, worst rescue ever.
Yeah. Which we get a nod to later, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the doctor's stuck in space jail, which may or may not be Shada, but either way, it's space jail. And meanwhile, the fam, Graham, Ryan, and Yaz are on Earth. Graham and Ryan have seemingly gone back to normal life, presumably, hanging out with their friends and doing whatever. But Yaz has been single-minded, apparently, since as soon as they got back. And
she can do a pretty darn good impersonation of the doctor, if I do say so myself.
She's like, you know, she's taken that secondary TARDIS and is living in it essentially, and it's like Yaz HQ, trying to figure out where the doctor may have gone and how they can find her and rescue her from wherever. And it's New Year's, and Yaz doesn't even realize that it's a new year. She's like, oh, when was New Year's? I'm like, oh, yes. But we find out it's been 10 months since they last saw the doctor. So as far as their timeline is concerned. But in the meantime, Graham and Ryan find a way to distract Yaz, at least temporarily, because there's been the sighting of a Dalek along with a certain other Jack. There's two Jacks in this episode.
Jack R.
Yes, Jack. Yeah, he's not Captain Jack. He's just Jack. I'm going to punch you in the face.
Yep.
Yeah, from arachnids in the UK. Even Yaz is like, Jack Robertson, the spider guy? And I'm like, oh no, I don't want the reminder. Yes, I know who he is now.
Yes. Played brilliantly by Chris Noth.
Yes.
Might I add.
Yeah.
He can play bad so well.
Yes, he can. But yeah, I was like, I don't need the reminder. Yes, I know he's the spider guy.
Yeah.
But we see in the cold open that the Dalek that they destroyed last time, the shell of it has been taken by supposedly the British government, but there's some shady things going on in the background, some backdoor dealings going on. So the shell, instead of being taken presumably to some top secret storage, ends up getting picked up by whoever these people are, presumably answering to this well, it was picked up by Jack Robertson, but he was tipped off to it by this lady in the British government named Joe, and so now he's got his hands on it, and has taken it to this tech guru guy, Leo, and has plans to use it as security drones, essentially, using them instead, with the Dalek mechanisms that we're used to, instead of shooting like laser beams or death rays or whatever. Instead, they can shoot out water at a high pressure, or like tear gas, and emit a really high-pitched noise to for crowd deterrence, for like civil unrest situations. But then they can also you see them being used for things like at the border patrol, at the airport, people going through customs, and people showing up at like different tourist locations and using the eye stalk and scans people's tickets to go to like Tower of London to go see the crown jewels or something. So it's like Daleks everywhere. And our trio, finds us out because they see this footage and they realize that Jack Robertson's involved, and they go and confront him, and they're like, Dalek, and he's like, I don't know what does that mean? I don't understand. And even later, when the doctor's like, Daleks, he's like, you keep using that word, and I just had flashes from The Princess Bride. It's like, you keep using that word, but it doesn't mean what you think it means. Not
And
quite.
To that, fire!
Yeah.
Fire!
Yeah.
I do wonder, like, how people aren't like, don't like. I know there's times like when like their minds get right or whatever, but shouldn't they recognize Daleks by now? All the times they come.
Would think.
Because I was wondering about that. I'm like,
you would think, like,
Torchwood rigged up
individuals.
some mighty
like
retcon doses.
Yeah, I'm like, the whole of Britain, surely there is someone who recognizes a Dalek for what it is. Like, I know with Donna, like with all the Christmases, they were able to explain it away, like, oh, I was out of the country on that Christmas or whatever. But it's like, really, the entire country, in all of these years that Daleks have showed up, even just in London, not even the rest of the UK, but just London, that no one recognizes a Dalek for what it is, who's not someone who is formerly involved with the Doctor.
Right.
Like, just your average, everyday London town person does not recognize a Dalek. Like, it's just, seriously, what are you people doing in the UK? You got very short memories or something.
Right?
It's just crazy. I don't know. Maybe that's something they'll explain later. Or maybe it's something they'll never explain, and just, just chalk it up to be
Doctor Who. It could be either way.
Yeah, maybe it's just like, with Muggles and magic and Harry Potter. It's like, people, they, the things they don't understand, they just explain away and just go on with their lives. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
I can see that reasoning.
Yeah.
Bad pizza, bad takeout. No more.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. But it was just funny because he was all like, he's like, you keep using that word. It has no meaning to me. Like,
I call shenanigans.
This. Oh. But and they think that they just think it's just some piece of advanced technology, and it doesn't have anything inside it as far as they can tell. So it's like, oh yeah, it's run by artificial intelligence. Oh look, it's solar powered. Great, environmentally friendly Daleks. So, but yeah, Jack brings the doctor out of space jail, which was a lovely reunion. I was like, oh, yes. Jack and the doctor together again. Oh, yes. I've missed this.
And I like the chemistry between Jack and the 13th Doctor. Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't mind if he popped up again in the next season.
Yeah,
exactly.
He might. He's staying on Earth, so
yeah, that is true.
In that time period, at least for the time being, so it is possible we could see him again. So, but if the doctor's like, I've been in space jail, and Graham and Ryan are like, oh, we're glad you're back. And Yaz is just like ready to throw punches.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's like, where the hell were you? Exactly. It's like, did you not hear me just say I was in space jail?
Yes.
Like, if meanwhile, Jack's over here like,
yeah.
Yes, you and I need to have a little talk.
Yeah. I like their little talk, though. I
do. Yes.
I like the little talk that they had. It's definitely, it's not something that gets brought up in Doctor Who very much. That what happens, not really until we got school reunion.
Yeah, I was gonna say it reminded me a lot of with Sarah Jane and Rose. It reminded me of that conversation.
Yeah, that that we really see what happens to the companions after they leave the Doctor. Although in Sarah Jane's case, she left of her own volition.
Right.
But then, Jack name drops Rose, and it's like, oh yeah, she's trapped in a parallel world, and Yaz is like, wait, that's a thing that can happen to us. Yeah. Yaz is finally starting to realize that yes, running around the Doctor is amazing and fantastic, and you get to see all these things and meet all these different species and creatures and go on these amazing adventures, but it can't go on for forever. As much as you may want it to, as much as the Doctor may want it to, and as much as the companion may want it to.
I mean, look at Donna.
Yeah, look at Rose, look at Donna, look at Martha. Martha had to walk away, even though she, as much as she loved it, she knew so many companions have walked away of their own volition, and some of them have unfortunately died. Adric and Bill, kind of. Bill is in a weird, that may be dead, not dead anymore. Same thing with Clara. Technically she's still out running around there because she's not technically dead yet. So, but still, it's one of those things that they were the BBC / Doctor Who like social media team or whatever leading up to this airing on New Year's Day had been posting like little teasers like, oh yeah, Captain Jack is back for this, and then they were also teasing, possibly saying goodbye to one of the companions in this episode, which anytime a companion is leaving, especially even if we know that the actor is, if an actor is leaving, I really wish that they would stop with the heavy-handed I don't want to say telegraphing because it doesn't always pan out. And I think that's part of my issue is just the heavy-handed, like, insinuating, like, when people are having conversations, like, oh, like when Graham and Ryan agree to go with Jack to help blow up the Dalek SAS ship, and they're like, we didn't come all this way to get blown up, and I'm like, really? Now you're gonna get blown up. It's like they make the characters have these comments, and it's like, really, just let this happen organically.
Right. Don't make us worry if you by them leaving, are they going to get killed off, or are they going to be leaving of their own accord, or not of their own choice, but still are alive?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, can we just let this play out and stop trying to like telegraph and make us stress out and be worried? Just let it happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's one thing when like the doctor is leaving and there's a regeneration coming.
Yeah.
But with the companions, especially in New Who, because I have to go back and like do the math, I guess, and of course, there could be people that may want to argue on what they consider dead versus not dead, but at least in New Who, off the top of my head, like half of the companions have left because they've been killed off in some form or fashion, thereabouts. Rose technically Rose is dead in this universe, even though she's not alive. Same with Jackie, and Mickey is still in this universe. Martha's still alive. Donna is alive, but doesn't remember anything.
I was gonna say, and if Donna stayed with the doctor, she would have, because the whole reason why she had to go was the thing was basically killing her.
Yeah. She would have died. So there's, Donna, Amy, and Roy are technically dead. From old
they got
age.
Sent back to the 50s.
Yeah. So they died of old age. River is dead. She dies in the library. So Clara is technically dead because she doesn't have a heartbeat, even though she's out running around with Maisie Williams.
But
I mean,
me.
Yeah, I mean, technically Clara is dead. Bill is dead-ish, kind of, maybe, sort of.
Yeah.
Nardal's dead. So it's like, they keep killing off.
The doctor is not that good.
Yeah, well, at least in New Who. Now in Classic Who, just the companions just leave.
Exactly.
Or they find something else to do or whatever. Adric, I think, is the only one that really gets outright killed as far as like a proper companion is concerned.
I think so.
At least as far as TV is concerned. Now we start getting a Big Finish. That's a whole other can of worms.
I was gonna say.
I think there might have been a companion with the first Doctor with the Daleks in the episode The Massacre that might have gotten killed. Veronica or something like that.
Yeah,
Began with a V.
Yeah, I remember. So
that's at least two that I'm aware of. Otherwise, the other ones left to their own accord, or the Time Lords. We're taking them.
Yeah, but they're still alive.
Back. Right, exactly.
Yeah. So, but they don't play their hand in as far as the script is concerned, like they do now. Or, it's like, with Rose, it's like, oh, this prophecy, the valiant child will die in battle. And of course, Rose is like, I'm going to stay with you forever. And I'm like, oh, well, that's not going to happen.
Like, and if I remember right, then like that, at the very beginning of that episode, she's like, this is how I died or something like that.
Yes,
Like,
this is the story of
well,
how I
thanks-
died.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, guys.
Yeah.
Say what now? Huh?
Yeah.
Back up?
Yeah, really. Well, I mean, that got your attention, and then you realize,
Yeah,
oh, you know,
true.
she's just technically dead in her universe.
Universe, right.
So, but yeah, that's just one of those things that stood out to me. I watched this episode a couple of times, even though I know how it ends. Just listening to some of the comments and the way stuff is worded in this episode, I'm like, you know, just let these things happen naturally.
Mhm.
Shoehorning it in. It's like, oh, somebody may be gone by the time this is over. And I'm like, okay. Thanks for
Quit trying to
playing your
change
hand
the
early.
course of the scene, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's one thing I did find a little annoying with it, but I guess at the end of the day it's a nitpick, probably. I don't know. I don't know how you could do it differently, though. That's the thing. I don't know. The first thing is about script writing. So
Right.
Yeah.
I hate to be one of those people. It's like, this is terrible, fix it. And they're like, okay, how? I'm like, I don't know. That's your job.
Or their PR people need to have a little bit of a retraining. Here's how you cut these.
Or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing, is like, I hate to complain and then not have like a suggestion on how to fix it.
Right, exactly.
Mhm.
So sorry. That's why you
Yeah.
get paid the big bucks, BBC people, and not me.
We got nothing.
We got nothing. That's why we don't make any money doing this. So anyway, so that was a tangent. Going back to the Daleks.
I mean, at least we were keeping it in universe.
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
Strictly a Doctor Who problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Dalek, of course, them being Daleks always survive the cockroaches of the universe that they are.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
and this tech guy Leo, apparently on top of being a technological genius, he's also a bioengineering genius too.
So he
Or
just
something.
decided to dabble and hey,
Yeah,
let's try
it's like,
this
oh,
and
I
see if this works.
found some DNA inside the case on the casing of this technology. Let me just clone it and grow it and
It's
see
like,
what
dude,
happens.
Mm.
No.
no.
Even Chris Noth's character was all like, why? Why would you do this?
Right.
This is the weirdest moment you're having in this entire series, dude.
To
It's
paraphrase
so
a certain
wrong, guy.
scientist from Jurassic Park, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Exactly.
Right, I remember thinking, like, did you watch Jurassic Park? Did you see what can happen?
Yes. Like, surely Jurassic Park exists in this universe. Aliens does. So
Somewhere Ian Malcolm is just pulling his hair out in frustration.
yes.
We'll show you chaos theory. Here you go.
Mhm.
Well, that's be an interesting crossover.
Yeah. He's like, I cloned it and grew it. Oh, and I plugged it into our systems and it recognized them right away. And like, that wasn't a clue that this is bad. Is that just not? Those are just red flags just all over the place.
This is just as bad as unleashing Skynet.
Yeah. Like, obviously, you are a nerd who has not seen Terminator or Jurassic Park. Please turn in your nerd card. Well, he doesn't need to because he's dead because he was messing with Daleks.
Right.
I usually tend to give, like, when I'm watching shows, I tend to give people benefit of stuff. Like, they don't necessarily have the knowledge that we will have watching it, but this time's like, no. This is
Yeah.
You didn't know nothing about Daleks. This should have screamed bad idea from the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he tells him to incinerate it. So then he goes to like the boiler room to throw it in like the incinerator. But instead of just dumping the entire thing into the incinerator, he opens the damn thing. Like, really? Did the box that it was in cost that much that you needed to save the box?
Right. Well, that makes me wonder too. Was the guy that got quote unquote killed or possessed when he stopped for that tea thing at that shady looking?
No, he was dead.
Yeah, the shady looking truck vendor.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, is this a remnant from Resolution or what?
I have no idea.
Because I mean, just the way all of a sudden, boom, killed.
Yeah.
And overtaken.
Yeah.
Something. I'm thinking there's more to this tale. Something got wrapped up, but I'm wondering, unless I'm reading too far in, but that was just.
I think the lady running the roadside tea stand was just because when the truck driver, when they were loading it on the truck, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna have to stop for a cup of tea because I guess presumably how far he was gonna have to drive, and she was like, only because it's you. So apparently this guy is probably like well known for his love of tea. And so they just assumed that he would stop, and they knew what route he was going to take, so they just set her up there knowing that he was likely to stop, and then they could when he showed up poison the tea and take the truck. So because if we learned anything from arachnids in the UK is that this Jack is not above being a a complete jackass.
Yeah. And we won't even get that even more later on in this episode.
Can we just get those Jack R and Captain Jack in the same room and just have Jack just clock him one?
Yeah, really.
Please.
Something.
Too much to ask?
Yeah. 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 So, but we get some nice once the fam is back together and they realize what's going on, that we get some nice pairings, because we get Yaz and Captain Jack go ahead to Japan to investigate, where the doctors scanned for Dalek DNA thanks to Yaz's suggestion. And then they stop by Robertson's, the doctor, Graham and Ryan stop by Robertson's office and collect him and take him in the TARDIS to Osaka, Japan. And I just love that Graham and Ryan, he's like freaking out, because the people, they experience the TARDIS for the first time and they kind of lose their mind, and Graham and Ryan are like, you want to explain it to him? It's like, no, it's more fun just to watch him lose his mind.
Yeah. Let him spin.
Yeah. Like, let him freak out just for a little bit.
Yes. There's some right.
Yeah. I did enjoy that quite a bit, where he's
Me too.
It's like, what is this? What happened? I'm like, no, I'm not going to tell you. You don't deserve an explanation.
And you'll find it later.
Nope. I don't think they ever actually explained it to him. I think he just went through this entire experience having no idea what the TARDIS, which is probably for the best. In all honesty,
if he would have known, he would have tried to get the TARDIS into his own possession. And try to.
I was gonna say
tear everything apart and mass market. Yeah,
definitely better.
Yeah, like he doesn't need it. He just knows that he went from London to Japan. If he knew that it also traveled in time.
That's definitely not. No.
Yeah,
that's a scary thought.
Yeah.
Jack, you better have the retcon Captain Jack, you better have the retcon handy to retcon him of this.
Yeah, really. Unfortunately, that's not the case either, based on the
Nope.
ending.
Nope.
Nope. So, but then as we do, we don't have Davros in this episode, but we do have a very talkative Dalek. It's the same Dalek that we had from the last one. It's just it's been cloned, but it's essentially the same Dalek. So of course we get evil monologue of evil.
Yep.
So then the doctor decides that the best way to stop these clone Daleks, who aren't 100% Dalek, because in the process of cloning them, they've been feeding them liquefied human. Soylent Green is people.
I was about to say Soylent Green, anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this case, Dalek Green is people. The doctor decides that the best way to stop these clone Daleks is to call in other Daleks. Purified Daleks, 100% pure Dalek, to come in and destroy, because the 100% pure Daleks only believe in 100% pure Daleks, and therefore will destroy anything that's not 100% pure Dalek. Which she was right.
Mm-hmm.
And then until the Daleks found out that the doctor was there.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and how did they find that out?
Yeah, because she happened to be talking out loud while the pseudo bad guy was in the room.
And they got scanners so they could see the 2 heartbeats, and yeah, 2 heartbeats equals Time Lord equals Doctor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think it would have occurred for the Daleks to scan for the Doctor in the first place if good old Mr. Robertson hadn't opened his yap.
True.
Yeah.
So I was like, Doctor, why are you saying the Daleks don't need to know I'm here in front of the guy who's obviously a jackass?
Who's going to sell you out any minute he can so he can save his own sorry hide.
And that's exactly what he does. He's like, he sees the pure Daleks, the SAS Daleks destroying the genetically modified Daleks, and he's like, oh, those are the really powerful guys. I'm on their side. Bye. Like, you jerk.
And I'm surprised the SAS Daleks didn't take him out.
They wanted to. It's obvious they wanted to, but the minute he name drops the Doctor, they get distracted. They're like, like Doug, like, oh, squirrel, oh, Doctor. Yeah. It's like, oh, you mean the Doctor's here? Never mind, we won't kill you right now.
You say, why kill the small dude when we can get the bigger one close? Yeah, the bigger fish.
Yeah.
Big fish, little fish, and the Daleks are single-minded when it comes to the Doctor. Nothing else matters.
Yep.
So, but still, I'm like, you dummy. And then they go and rescue him, which I don't know why they bothered to rescue him in the first place. They should just left him there. They even said that too, where Jack's like, give us one reason why we shouldn't rescue you. Like, because that's what the Doctor would have done.
Yep.
Dang you, Doctor, and your sense of propriety. And trying to minimize casualties. So, but then the Daleks get destroyed because the Doctor uses a fake TARDIS. I guess it's a real TARDIS. It's the spare TARDIS.
This isn't the actual TARDIS. You're in a black hole or whatever, and it's going to cringe.
Yeah, it's like it's gonna fold in on itself and be shot into the void. I'm like, hey.
I mean, just seeing that the TARDIS fold in on itself. I mean, the special effects on it was like, ooh,
Yeah. I was
nice.
like, I am so glad that's not our TARDIS.
Right?
Exactly. Yes.
I was gonna say it was hard enough to watch that. Like I can't imagine they would decide to do something like that to the actual like no,
Yeah.
better not.
No. I'm pretty sure that the doctor's TARDIS would have protested, like,
Yeah,
no.
that-
I have let you do a lot of things in the name of saving people. I draw the line here. And you
Right?
sacrificing me. So yeah, because I was confused there for a second when the Daleks start flying in the front door of the TARDIS. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, like and then didn't supposed to be the we just forgot about it.
Yeah.
Like
It's like, oh yeah, we've got a spare TARDIS lying around. You forgot. What? So Daleks are destroyed, both types, and Mr. Robertson lives on and is now being declared a hero for some reason.
yeah, I was like
In all of
and
Britain.
the new prime minister too is getting away scot-free.
No, she's dead.
Oh, she's dead. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
she was like saying, "Oh, this is like a test," or so. I forgot exactly what she was saying, but like when the Daleks were trying to like,
She thought that there's like a minor malfunction or
yeah,
something.
that's right.
Okay, sorry, I forgot. I thought because when I just
she
remember
got
seeing
she got
the
zapped right there on the front stoop of number 10 Downing Street, which
Okay,
I'm
that's
glad
right.
for that because
now was
Harriet
she
Jones,
Darth Vader or
Prime
was
Minister,
she
she's not.
Palpatine? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. She was just a corrupt politician is what she was. So but like it's good she's been destroyed, so we don't have to worry about her anymore. But yeah, Robertson is still out there, although he's now back in the United States.
Yeah, but it sounds like he's might start going the presidential route
Again.
Yeah, like that's what we need.
Yeah. Like no.
Doesn't he look tired?
Yeah, really. Right? Yeah, I think that only works in the UK, unfortunately. So, but yeah, so everybody lives except for the new prime minister. She was prime minister for a whole like 5 minutes before she got exterminated, which is fine by me. And then the doctor's like, okay, great, we're all back together. Let's go on an adventure. And Yaz is like, woohoo! And even Grandma's like, yay! And then Ryan's like, no, I'm gonna stay here. And Yaz is like, no, I'm still going. Thank you very much. After the phone call from Jack letting the doctor know that Gwen says hi.
Yes.
Nice little name drop there.
Yeah.
And child number 2.
Yeah. And he's going to be sticking around on Earth for a while to hang out with Gwen and her kids. So it sounds like she's got more than one now, because the one she had in Torchwood was a girl, right?
Right, and one. So
and then he mentioned something about her son. So
right,
she's got at least 2 now.
Yep. Oh boy, Uncle Jack, Reese, you better be worried.
Yeah.
Spoiled city, here we come.
Yeah.
I say, as much as I love Captain Jack, I don't know if I want him babysitting my kids. That would kind of. I feel like
he's the biggest kid out of all of them.
That's true. That is true. I did thoroughly enjoy seeing. I mean, I know we got a little bit of Jack in the season when he makes his surprise appearance and everybody, the internet lost their collective mind.
Mhm.
So like, oh my God, Jack back! This time we get way more Jack and interacting with the Doctor and
Yes.
and the companions and going in the TARDIS and all, all these sorts of things. So it was like way more Captain Jack, and I was like, I am totally here for it. I love this. I love Captain Jack.
Though I'm wondering, just with the way that, to hop ahead a bit, the way that it ended with Ryan and Graham, I'm not wondering if they're setting up for Torchwood 3.0. Jack, you got a couple new recruits.
That's a possibility.
I mean, like, they did stay, but they didn't stop. Like, it sounded like they didn't stop, like, adventuring and looking for, like, the unexplained and the weird.
Oh yeah. Especially considering like the things they're talking about, they're like in like Norway or something, but something about trolls, and somebody was I saw something, I don't know, it was on Reddit or something, and somebody was like, "Oh, trolls in Norway, that could be Sontarans." And then they talked about like Korea, a rock quarry came to life. The rocks came to life like weeping angels. So it's like, ooh, that's a possibility.
I wouldn't say no. Like I was saying, I wouldn't say no to like some kind of spin-off of those two.
Yeah. Well,
if not proper Big Finish, please.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and the thing is, like, because Graham and Ryan are just left and didn't die, that leaves it open for them to come back. If that's the fact that they're going to be staying on Earth, and running around. The Doctor gave them both psychic paper, which is dangerous in itself, but it sounds like they're going to be using it for good intentions. Which I don't think she would have given it to them if she didn't think they were going to use it for good intentions. So but Ryan still wants to learn how to ride a bike, which is adorable. Going all the way to the very.
I was gonna say that was a nice bookend.
Yeah.
For them.
Yes.
Yeah. And a nice little nod to Grace and how she's obviously she's been gone for a while, but she's still kind of out there looking over both of them, which was nice, a nice little thing. And then so right now the Doctor and Yaz are going to be running around, at least for some yet to be determined amount of time, because we did get a teaser for series 13, which we will be getting this year, which is good. So we will be getting a full series of Doctor Who at some point this year. It looks like it's already, at least some of it's been filmed, because I know I've seen people post images that they've caught when they've been filming like out in public.
Nice.
Which believe that some Sontarans have been spotted. I want to say, I think, maybe. I could be wrong. I don't remember. My brain is mush. But anyway, we got a short little teaser introducing, with Sontarans. They were filming in Cardiff with Sontarans. But we are getting an actor by the name of John Bishop is going to be joining in some capacity in series 13.
Yep.
All we have is the first name, and that is Dan.
Yep. Apparently his horoscope for 2021 is his lucky number is 13. The color blue will be important.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder.
What shade of blue? TARDIS?
Could be.
Magic 8 Ball says?
Yeah.
Possibility, very likely.
Yeah. But apparently he's really well known in the UK as a comedian, stand-up comedian. So But apparently he also has a northern accent.
All races
I do like the keeping the trend of like kind of like the older, having an older companion.
Mhm.
I've been liking that.
Yep, he is 40. He's 44 at the moment. His birthday's not till November, or 54. Sorry, I can't do math. He'll be 55 each of this year. But yeah, he's done some acting. But mostly he's done stand up. So one of his acting credits though is it looks like a not quite an anthology, but like a mini series called Accused that came out in 2010. The first series came out in 2010. The second series came out in 2012. But there are several. He's in a couple episodes, but there's some very recognizable names that have appeared in this. I may need to watch this now because Christopher Eccleston was in it,
including
Andy Serkis, Sean Bean, Peter Capaldi, Ev McIntosh, Olivia Colman,
bingo,
Jodie Whittaker. This is like a who's who of who.
Exactly.
So, interesting. I wonder where that is available. Let's see.
On IMDb, it says watch on Prime Video, but I don't know if it's
Amazon Prime UK or.
Yeah. That's showing. Oh, right.
That is a good. Because I do love me a good crime drama. It is available. Both seasons are available through Prime Video, and then first season is available through Acorn TV on Amazon. So there you go. Good to know. I wonder if it's available on DVD, if I could get it from the library. Maybe. Interesting. Cool. Well, there you go. There's going to be possibly new companion as made his got connections to other other people who have been in who. So Doctor Who's back, at least for a day. But we'll be back sometime later this year. Easter Saturday, maybe? Anybody? Who knows? And maybe we'll get more Jack. Maybe not.
Be nice. I like that quick little mention that he had about the end of the Ninth Doctor's run, like talking about like how he's met the Daleks and he can't be killed because with them and the Doctor and Rose. So I'm like, yay. I was half expecting him to like die and like.
I did too. That's the thing, is like they kept mentioning the fact that Jack is immortal, yet they never used it.
Right.
It's like you're running around a Dalek ship to destroy it, and it's like, if need be, he could have taken a shot from a Dalek for Ryan or Graham, and he would have been perfectly fine.
Right.
So, just give him a second. He'll pop back up and be like, whoo, let's keep going. But it's like they kept mentioning, even Jack, with the Daleks, they're like, identify yourself. He's like, I'm Captain Jack and I'm immortal. I'm like, why aren't you showing it?
Exactly.
Like, you've got this thing that Jack can do. Why aren't you doing it? I still got the vortex manipulator though. I'm guessing he snuck that into. Yeah, I'm guessing he snuck that into the prison the same way he snuck that gun into the game station.
Yeah, you don't want to know.
Especially how he answered. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. You watched it, right?
I think with that line, he probably could have been like, remember the game station? Be like, I understood that reference. Ew, I hope you sanitize that, Jack.
Yeah, Jack, that's sanitary.
Right? Yeah. Although he's from the 51st century, maybe they've eliminated germs and stuff completely by then.
Who knows?
I like how you mentioned that in what is she from? I forgot the name, but he mentioned that too. I was like, is he going to say something about the Faceable?
Well, he did say he was from the Beauchene Peninsula.
Yes, like he said, like
told Yaz he may take her there someday. I'm like, yes, please. So many good nods. Yes. So many good nods and references. So.
I was gonna say, yeah, Jack's great. I hope he comes back.
Well, me too.
I wouldn't say no to seeing Gwen back too. Like have her come back as a cameo.
Yeah,
and she's been on Doctor Who before, so
yeah,
it wouldn't be out of the possibility.
That is true. That is very true. So, yeah. Well, and it's like with Graham and Ryan, I guess now that with them running around and Jack running around with Gwen, that there's potential for, I guess, maybe Graham and Ryan to appear in Torchwood Big Finish.
That would work.
Ooh,
possibly.
Yeah, just possibly. I mean, because I've listened to the majority of.
Well, now now that they've left. Yeah,
right.
quote unquote left, then they're more likely to end up in Big Finish because I guess right now I think the way we explained it when we did our Big Finish episode is that current Doctor and companions cannot be in Big Finish. Whoever's on TV right now. So
that makes sense. I can see why that wouldn't.
Yeah, I think it'd be too confusing.
Yeah.
If for anything else, continuity wise, I think it would just be probably too confusing.
Yeah.
So, which is fine by me, but like a year from now.
That would work. What's the statute of limitations?
Yeah, really.
From final appearance to signing the Big Finish audio contract.
Yeah, exactly.
I would think maybe like a season. Like that would be my idea. I mean, I could be totally wrong, but I would think give it a season.
Could be. Watch this space.
Exactly.
That's the way it is. If Big Finish announces something, then we'll usually post it.
You might hear a big collective scream coming from a certain vicinity. Yes, that's us.
Us? Never. We never squee over anything.
No. It's not part of our tagline at all.
No, not at all. So, speaking of which, if you want to see when we post something from Big Finish, you can do that by going to our Facebook page, and to find the link to that, you can go to our website, which is the5ishfangirls.com. From there, you can find links to not just Facebook, but Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and all the other places that we are on, the social media. There's also the link to the Goodreads book club, so you can go and make your selection in the poll and join in the discussion for whatever book and or Big Finish audio, now that we've opened that up to that, for the month in Goodreads, which you can easily access via the interwebs or the app on your smartphone and or tablet, whatever floats your boat. Also on our website, if you would like to financially support us, you can do so a number of ways, including our Amazon affiliate link. So if you realize that you bought somebody some great toy or something or other for Christmas and forgot one of the accessories and you need to buy it off of Amazon, you can click on our link first and go and make a purchase, and we get a little incentive from Amazon. It doesn't cost you anymore, and you can use Prime if you are a Prime subscriber. There is also our Patreon, where you can financially support us on a monthly basis for as little as $1 a month. There we post a lot of our pre-episode ramblings. We tend to chat quite a bit before we actually officially start the show. And that's where you find all the juicy stuff. No, not really. Most of it's pretty mundane, but hey, gives a little behind the scenes on us and our lives and what's happening sometimes. There's also our Ko-fi, where you can just flat out donate money of really any amount, and our affiliate link with Audible. So number of ways to support us, and of course you don't have to financially support us, but if you do, we're very, very grateful. If you can't, especially right after the holidays when everybody has spent all of their money on presents for everybody else, which is again perfectly understandable. You could also support us by sharing our show and leaving comments and reviews and all those sorts of things. Those don't cost you any money, just a little bit of your time, and we greatly appreciate it. And of course, you can do that pretty much on every podcast platform these days. Allows you to at least, do a thumbs up or stars or whatever and some sort of commentary, and we're on pretty much every podcast platform out there. So there is that. So, all right. Well, unless anybody has anything else about Doctor Who or anything else, we shall sign off for this week.
This is Brittany and Bethlehem saying goodnight.
This is Holly from Wisconsin saying good evening.
And so Chrissy had to step away. Children required her attention, but she says bye. And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana. Why would I want to sit on a meringue chair? I can understand eating everything meringue, but why would I want to sit on meringue furniture? That seems...
That seems crumbly.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have been listening to the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. You can find more episodes and information at thefivishfangirls.com. Any and all books, movies, games, and any other forms of media mentioned are owned and operated by the respective copyright holders. No copyright infringement is intended or implied. If you wish to support the show, the easiest way is to leave us a rating and review. More ratings and reviews will make it easier for others to find the show. If you wish to support us monetarily, you can do so at patreon.com/5ishfangirlspodcast. All money goes towards fees and equipment to keep the show going. For official Five-ish Fangirls merchandise, visit redbubble.com/people/5ishfangirls. We love hearing from our listeners and encourage feedback. You can email us at fiveishfangirls@gmail.com. You can also like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/5ishfangirls. Thank you so much for listening, and may the squee be with you.